Hi, this is Jody Smith. Welcome. So every month I'm hoping to put together a toolbox or share a tool. And I have here a board of directors, Miss Ashley Deach.
Hello, good morning.
I want each of you to get to know everybody as on the board of directors. And I knew Ashley would be perfect for this tool. It's a tool I've been using since 2009, and I found out Ashley has been using it about the same time frame.
Yeah, since 2010,
Yeah.
I think the years blend together, but I'm pretty sure it's around then.
Yeah. So what the tool is it's an appraisal package. And what is an appraisal package?
Right. So for me, it's basically a package, right, that I put together for the appraiser to determine how I came up with my pricing on that listing. Where did we feel like that value is appropriate to list and sell the home?
Mm-hmm.
And, it's so interesting how the appraisal package has changed from when I first started using it to now. And I've been joking, like, I should name one of my kids Appraisal because that's the word I've been saying the most. Like I say the word appraisal more than I say my kids' names these days.
That's pretty funny.
They're like a third child to me because it's so important in our industry. So, that's what I've been doing is how can I help the appraiser find where my brain was at as a realtor to adjust or not adjust, but to assess value on that particular property.
Yeah. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
no, I love it. And so a couple of things that I use in the appraisal package, and Ashley, please add on to anything. I share a couple of comparables that I think would help support the sales price. And I even make notes on those listings. I indicate the pluses and the minuses. If I've actually been in the property, those sold properties, I even add additional language that might help the appraiser because I've actually walked through those. The other thing is I indicate all the improvements the seller has made that might not be obvious improvements, everything from insulation to a new furnace. Appraisers are not inspectors. We know that.
That's a huge one. Yeah. What have they done since they've bought that's gained value? That's so big. Yeah.
Especially if they only bought it 5 years ago, right? Or 3 years ago. And we're finding that buyers are doing that. And it's like, wow, what can we do to share with the appraiser?
Absolutely.
So those are the two big things. And then the third thing that I've always been adding on the cover sheet is what kind of activity we had, especially the last 5 years, how many showings, how many offers. And then the last couple I've indicated how many offers were over asking price, how many offers were over this number, how many offers were over this number. So,
right. Yeah. It seemed sort of strange at first, maybe in like 2012, 2013 to share that kind of information. I kind of felt like, well, maybe I shouldn't tell the appraiser that, or I shouldn't tell other people that because that just wasn't what our market was doing. Mm-hmm. It seems sort of odd to say, to share the information about all of that. But now it's like, no, look at everything. Like, what else can I help answer? Yes. Because there's so much activity. And as we know, these prices are sky high, at least we think so, mm-hmm. compared to what we list at. So it's really important that we get those numbers right, or as close to right as we possibly can, because everything hinges on what that appraisal value comes back at least for most of my transactions, even if you've got that coverage, it matters. What does that number come back at and how big is that coverage if that buyer's willing to pay for it?
Yeah. I got to tell you something. I have done it for every single listing, no matter what. And I will tell you, I did make an exception a couple of years ago on a home that I felt all day long, it's going to appraise. I don't need to do an appraisal package. Can I tell you, it did not. It did not. And it was not a number that was stretched. So the thing is I hate to say it, I made an assumption that the appraiser will know this school system, will know this neighborhood. And, sometimes we can't rely on that. And I want to ask you, Ashley, do you do this also when you're representing the buyer?
So I've actually done it more when I represent the buyer than when I represent the seller lately, because I need to advocate for my client, my buyer client, that we felt this value was justified. Mm-hmm. And even if they've got an appraisal gap coverage, I don't want them to use it.
Right.
I want
Exactly.
them to feel good about it.
Mhm.
So I've actually been doing more appraisal packages on the buy side than on the sell side because I really want those numbers to work for them. And I want them to be my forever client, right? So I don't want them to call me in 5 years and say, hey, Ash, we're going to sell the house. And then I have to say,
Yeah.
I sold it to you at the wrong value.
Yeah.
We're underwater. Gosh, I never want to say those words again. So I've actually been doing it more on the buy side because to me, I don't want to say it's more important, but maybe because I know that they've got to take that on and that's important to them. So I actually do it more now on the buy side.
I love hearing that. I think that's really helpful for anyone that's watching to know that you can do that for your buyers as well.
Yeah, well, and I
Important.
know I've had the luxury of being in the business for a little while, but appraisers are our friends. They're not our enemies. And I think sometimes we get this weird, not, I don't, but people get this weird, like, the appraiser did a bad appraisal, which is not really a thing. They're doing their job. But how great that we can call our appraiser friends and ask questions and learn from them. And, I've sold a lot of downtown condos and there's some appraisers that will call me. I'm not even a party of that transaction. And they'll say, hey, Ash, I know you know a lot about this. Can you help me? And I'll say, of course.
I love that.
And isn't that so great? Because we know that we want to help each other. We're all trying to do the same thing. So what's better than befriending someone that you need help from and genuinely having a good relationship? So you don't have to be on one side of the transaction to make that happen.
I love what you just said, because I was going to touch upon that too, is, whenever an appraiser is calling you about a past transaction or something that, like you said, you're not even a party to what that appraiser is calling you about, but they're just asking, hey, you sold this house for this much. What kind of condition was it? Was the kitchen really that nice? I mean, call that appraiser back, and because it helps the whole industry, and it helps our.
Absolutely does. Yeah. Oh yeah. So yeah, I feel like the appraisals have been so important. I don't think that it's going away, even with what we're seeing in our market where, people are saying, we don't care what it appraises at. Well, of course they do. It's just that they're willing to pay a different price. But those appraisers have a tough job. And it's also our job to make sure that we do what's best for our clients every single day. So the appraisal package is a very large piece of that.
And I want to give a tip here too, is I've actually done appraisal packages for any of my clients that are refinancing.
Oh, I love that. I haven't done that.
I've helped quite a few. I actually helped my neighbor not too long ago. And, because refinancing appraisals are a little bit more conservative. So if I can provide more information that can help, and a homeowner is not going to necessarily have access to those comparables or even be able to talk about them, right? Where
That's
we
such
can
a
do
good
that.
point.
It's such a great service you can provide for your clients.
Yeah. Well, and maybe once they see your appraisal, they'll list and sell anyway.
I know, especially right now. Hey guys, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Let's get on it when we have when we have some time here.
Yeah, exactly.
So let's just touch upon, Ashley. How about, should we just talk real quickly about that what the board of directors just said? Okay, let's go ahead and share this with the members, the multiple offer summary.
Absolutely. Yeah. And what a great tool for our members. I know as a listing agent, sometimes I get overwhelmed when we have multiple offers and we're trying to negotiate with, 15 buyers agents and your sellers and do the right thing and be extra communicative. And then at the end of the day, you're just like drained, but people still need information from you. So this form, I guess I'll call it, was created to just make that real easy, right? You fill in the line. So it's got all kinds of different lines about what types of offers you received. Were they cash? Were they conventional? Did they waive inspections? I think a line even says, how, not, of course, not disclosing the price, but it was over X amount value. Just educating people, because if you can take that information and you can go back to your buyer who either did or did not write on that house and say, I want to educate you. There were 15 offers. They waived inspections. They wrote $40,000 over list price. They're closing in 14 days. Can you compete with that?
Yes.
If the answer is yes or no, that might determine how you're going to move forward in this real estate market. And it's not to discourage people, it's to educate them. How can we put you in the position where you're number one?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, this form has been created to share with our membership to use if they choose, to help educate everyone else. What were the offers that you received and how can you use that in your own business?
And it's an optional form, and I want to give kudos to Bev Borman. She's the one that initiated this. And
yeah.
And she sent this on Facebook for you that are not on Facebook, but then Gerard just kind of tweaked it a little bit. It's an optional form, by all means. Talk to your broker about it if it's something that, whether you feel comfortable to use it or not, but just something, that way to communicate, like you said, Ashley, to the people that didn't get it. And I've even seen people use showing time by notifying all the agents, even the ones that didn't write an offer. Sometimes the agent just knew that their client wasn't going to be able to be in the ball game. So it's kind of like, right. But boy, they would have loved to know what kind of activity they had. Oh, wow, you had 30 offers and this is, it sold for
right.
10% or 20% more than asking. And that will help the buyer's agent give that information to their clients. So that was great.
Absolutely. And I think, we know we've got a lot of newer agents in the business that might have a hard time wrapping their minds around what types of offers are being written. And so this helps them understand, how do they get in the game? Or, I mean, gosh, it's not even a new agent. Every agent is trying to figure out what's going on.
Exactly. Isn't that the truth?
Yeah. So if we can help ourselves, and, in my opinion, any education is good education. So if we can just learn and we're willing to share that, to me, that, that raises everything, that level for everyone to just all learn. So the form is going to be great if you're able to use it in your brokerage or in your business. I think it's awesome.
And hopefully we'll be on the newsletter next week. So watch for that.
Yeah, very cool.
I so appreciate you, Ashley. You are, I got to tell you, Ashley's one of the sharpest tools ever.
Oh my gosh. Thank you.
You're amazing. And
and likewise, we are blessed to have Jodi at the helm of the ship. So I love it.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much. And thanks for listening, you guys. I hope this is a helpful tool. And I'll see you next month. So thank you.
Thanks so much. Yeah.